Hello and welcome back to I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. I am currently stranded in Frankfurt Airport for the next 24 hours, so it seemed like the perfect time to record a new episode. They have put me up in a hotel for the night, so I do have a temporary workstation, so it's not all bad. Unfortunately, this is the last episode in the series as well. It was originally started as a series to learn all about Vuex, and I feel we've done that now. So, as I mentioned in the previous episode, we've just been tying up some loose ends and getting the app in a sort of a workable state. So, in the spirit of things, today we're going to be looking at creating the black cards and just tidying up some little bits and getting some actual, some more cards in there so that we've got a decent set of cards to play the game with. So we'll have some actual black cards and a lot more white cards. And yeah, it's all stuff we've seen before, but it's good to get a bit of closure on this app. I will post a follow-up video to this that just kind of recaps over everything we've gone through in the series, where we started, where we got to, and I'll make that available in a couple of weeks. But without any further ado, let's get learning. We had black cards before, and they were basically the same design as the white cards. But given how cramped this space already is, it's something we wanted to solve with mobile views, but it's also something that's on the want pile, not the need pile. So because it is cramped, we're going to have to come up with something slightly different for black cards. Now, what I was thinking, if I can just mock something up really quickly, if I go to the, not the play area, was it room.view? Yeah, there we are. Right. So if I go up here, it's going to, I need a wrapper div. So if I do this, add in my wrapper div, and then above this table, if I just have div with a class of, for now, black card, and say this is the text on the black card, and then down here, black card, I want to do if I just do fixed at the bottom, display block, black, color white. This is just really 2em, padding 0.5em, left 0, right 0. See how that looks. Oh, we need a Z index of 9 and a font family of sans serif. Okay, that's the simplest way of doing it. The colours are a little off and everything's a bit wrong, but we're getting there. This is the text on the. This is the text, and black cards have them things in. So let's just. Okay, so that will kind of work. It'll probably cover this up though if this text gets too big. So maybe the top would make more sense. No, I think. Let's put it on the bottom. We can rejig these because let's be honest, the design isn't great anyway. Let's just get something kind of usable. But what I want to do is I don't want to have this hard coded into the room. I want to create a new component called black card.view. Actually, let's stick with naming conventions. Black card view and template can just copy this for now. The script is fine. We want a style black card. Let's scope it. Are we indenting them? Yeah, let's indent that. Okay. I'll just sort them for visibility. We do want scripts, export default. Is it name? Do we need name? I don't really need anything, to be honest. Well, let's just leave that as is for now. We'll need to bring in this from the data somewhere, so what we will do in here is import black card from black card.view, and then oops, add it in here as well, black card, and this then becomes black card. Okay, there we are. Do we put it in the table? Probably not. Doesn't make a difference, so it's staying in the table because we have less divs and it's a bit less hassle later on if we need to sort things. Right. So there's the really simple black card. I'm just going to tweak the styles really quickly to match the other cards a bit better. I'll be back. Okay, so we are back. I've just updated the styles slightly to be a little bit nicer. You don't need to see that really. So we've got the text coming in from the black card and the rest of the game plays as normal. Right, what do we need now? We need this text inside the store, I guess. So if we go cards, cards in a particular location, I want black card. We don't need the location for this one. Oops, we do need the arrows though. And the state has collections, and the state has black cards. Let me think. Is this how we want to do this? Let's start with the data first. This is collections.json. That needs renaming anyway. But it wants collections and it also wants black cards. Is that a collection? Yeah, it's outside of collections because you can't actually move a black card from one collection to another. So this looks like a collection, but it's slightly different. And we have just the same as these. We have ID, B card, 000, 3 zeros is fine. I'll leave them as just card for now. I think we're going to update these anyway, so we've got more than 10 cards. And I want the text to be this is the black card. That'll do for now. I will add, as I say, I will add proper examples a little bit later, probably at the end of this episode. Let's just have, oh dear. Let's try that again. Let's just have, why is it doing this? Let's go with 3 cards, right. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 2. Let's try and spell black correctly on the second and the third. Bulk. Black card. Right. So let's create a new game, and then inside this new game I want, let's have a look at the console. Oh, I've got a console.log here. Room ID. Let's remove that. We don't want that anymore. Alright, that's fetch collections, and then we want a separate one for fetch, not collections, black cards. Commit. And again, we want the room ID. So this is going to be exactly the same as how we fetch the collections. And I want black. So black cards equals. In fact, let's just copy all of this, paste it in, call that black cards, black cards, black cards. Set black cards. That should work. Room.view. We will fetch the black cards as well. Don't know why that's done that, but it did. Black cards is not defined. Where's that? Oh. Bit weird. Not sure why I'm doing that. Oh, right, okay, I see. I've done that on the commit thing absolutely terribly. But never mind. Unknown new mutation type, set black cards. That is because we haven't written it yet. Set black cards, state payload, state dot black cards is payload. So now we should have where's it gone? Cards. I don't need all of this. Black cards, black cards. For now, if I return black cards 0. Oh, state.blackcards. Yeah, that's what we want. Right. And then in black card, I want computed. Map getters. card. Oh, it always does that. I don't know why it does that. And then this becomes black card.text. Haha. We have issues. That's fine. Well, let's see what they are. Cannot read property text of undefined. Okay. State black cards. Hello. Oh, that's really strange. It is not getting that from the getters. Why am I importing Axios? Let's get rid of that. Right. Black card. Map getters from Vuex. Computed. Map getters. Black card. How have I done that elsewhere? If I go to hand, computed, map getters user, no, map getters is a function. Way, there we go. Right now, if I refresh, there should be there's one issue because I want a if on there that says, if there is a black card, render the black card text. Otherwise, don't. And that'll prevent that from being an issue. Okay, so I guess that's the simplest way of doing it. Black card 1, the second black card 3. Oh. We've only got 3 black cards, 0, 1 and 2. Third black card. Alright, okay. Let's just say shuffling is a luxury that we can't afford right now. And we're just going to draw the top black card. We should work out a shuffle function anyway for when we set up the room. So, okay, so if I get the topmost black card, and then we have another mutation here that is next black card state. Don't need a payload. And all this does is state dot black cards dot, is it pop? Could be. Let's find out. Computed. Methods, map, mutations, next black card. Let's start putting this on new lines. That works. Click. What's in next black card? Let's check the console. Oh. It's not pop. Pop drops it off the end. Oh, I can't remember the syntax. So script first item in array. Always forget things like this. Unshift and shift. Let's try that. the black card, the second black card, the third black card, and then done. Right, okay. So that works. So all that's doing is when we click on the black card, it'll probably be easier to view it on this one. Where's DevTools? If I go to View, and then we look at the events, when we click on it, oh, no events found. Oh, I want to be on Vuex. So next black card fires, and the black cards goes from an array of 3 to an array of 2, down to an array of 1. And because we're just drawing from the top every time, it changes this. So that's a really easy way to do it locally, but the problem is we don't want to do it locally. So if I go to the next black card here on the second one, this stays on the first one, and we don't want that. We want that propagated across. So all we want to do here is exactly the same as what we're doing locally, but move that logic up to Firebase. So if we do right, okay, so that's why I've done collections this way. Let's just do black cards the same way we've done collections. So black cards. That doesn't want to be a const anymore. And then if we go down here, I'm just going to hide that, and I'm going to do black cards dot remove. I can't remember. I had it open over here because I've just checked it. There we are. RVM. What's RVM? Date name. All right. Okay. So black cards dot remove. If I remove 0, see what this does on the black card. Nothing. Oh. Uh-oh. That was a mistake. I need a new cave now. I've just deleted all the black cards. Okay, so we're in this room. I can probably just watch it in here, it's probably easier, right? This one, black cards 0, 1 and 2. What has that done? Nothing. Why is that? Actually, let's have a look in here. No, let's not. Let's remove failed. First argument must be a valid function. I've obviously read this wrong then. Oh, I'm reading the question of Stack Here's the Stack Overflow tip. Don't read the question and copy and paste that in, because the question will never work. Otherwise, why would they ask the question? Let's try this again. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Dot child 0. Ooh. What's going on here? 0. Dot remove. Don't know if that needs to. Let's try it with an integer. And let's refresh that. What's. Oh, dot remove. See where we're at. Okay. It worked, but it hasn't re-indexed the array, because Firebase isn't an array, it's a load of Firebase re-index array. Okay, it turns out that removing from arrays in Firebase is pretty tricky. So what we're going to do instead, black cards dot length -1
and get rid of that. We're just going to flip everything on its head. So we can just black cards a child, that wants to be state.black cards at length. So instead of black card returning the first item, I'm going to make it return the last item, and I'm going to continuously remove the last item. Black cards dot length -1, I believe. Yes. So now it should go 3, 2, 1. You see. I think I may have already broken this room, so I might need a new room. Oh. Oh. Third black card, third black card. Clicking does nothing, it would seem. What room are we in? VP something. 012. I want to remove state.black cards. Black cards dot length. Second, first. Oh, that's interesting. And then we can't remove the last one. I guess that makes sense. I just need to... So I made a couple of simple changes there. I've set these to be collections ref and black cards ref to avoid confusion. And I've also set this to check if the black cards are actually on the state before trying to remove one, because that was causing some issues. But it's working now, and you can see we've got the same room open up here. And if I go down to the second black card on this room's now on the second black card. And the same if I go down to the first one here, this one's on the first one. And all we're doing there is just, what's the room ID? This one. We can see we've got one left in there. And then if we remove it, obviously it disappears, and it's disappeared from here. And all we're doing is, instead of reading from the top, we're just reading from the bottom every single time. Now, there's obviously the issue if we can never loop through these, but the idea is we have enough black cards that this won't be an issue. We should probably implement a nicer way of cycling through these black cards, because it's completely destructive and you can't go back. But that probably falls into the game logic side of thing that we said we're not going to do right now, simply because we don't have time. We'll just have to trust the players that to know that if they click on that card that it will disappear. I think what we should do now is we should take this collections.json and start adding in some more cards from the Cards Against Humanity game, so that we've got more than 10 white cards and 3 completely nonsense black cards, and then we can start playing with it and seeing if it works as a game, and if there is anything that's crucially missing, or if we've done the minimum that we need to do really to get this working as a game. So I've made a few changes. First off, I've written an entirely new set of black cards and an entirely new set of white cards. We no longer have collections JSON. We have black cards JSON and white cards JSON, and both of them are just the ID and the text as before, just the separate JSON files now. And that is because of the extra thing that I've added, and that is shuffle. So shuffle array is an NPM module that I just found on NPM, and what it does is it shuffles an array. So what we can do is we can say black cards are shuffle black cards, and we can say the deck is a shuffled white cards, so that when we create a new game, it shuffles the cards before sending them off to Firebase. So we always have a nicely shuffled deck of both black and white cards. Let me just hide that terminal. Now, instead of going straight to new game on here, I'm just going to go forward to a game I created earlier because I've already got it hooked up. So what I can do here is, I say I've got it hooked up. I still need to paste it into here. Well, you see, they are syncing. So we've got Google Calendar alert, Google Calendar alert. We've got the deck here. I'm pulling the cards into our hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll do. Right. You can see we've got all new white cards. We've got new black card messages down here. In fact, it's easier to see on this one. All I've done is I've just copied some of the white cards from the Devs Against Humanity box that I've got here and tried to remove some of the slightly riskier ones. And of course, the black cards persist across all the different screens as long as we're in the same room. But our hand is actually the same. Okay, so our hand is the same because I'm logged in as Frontend and E on both windows. So if I log in on my phone as myself and go into the same room, if at first you don't succeed, try, and then I'll just draw some cards. Oh, that's quite nice. You can see when I'm drawing cards on my phone on this screen. Draw some more cards. Well, that'll do, whatever. Thank you, Misty. So if I play a card on my phone, you see it comes up onto the screen here, and then what should we play? If at first you don't succeed, try the minimum viable product. Sure. Okay, and then we reveal, and we've got brunch and the minimum viable product, and whoever is the card czar of that turn can just, rate these and go on from there. So yeah, and then the other thing I changed actually is when we put the cards back in the deck, the new black card gets drawn, and that's much better than clicking on here to change it, because that was just a bit silly, really. So I draw a new card. Art isn't a painting in a museum. Art is alive. Art is a man with the head of a goat and the body of a goat. Art is art. So yeah, you see how this works. There's no game logic in here as such. You can do whatever you want. You can add 5 cards if you really want to. So there's logical flaws, but it's a playable game.
So that's it. That's the end of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. We have a semi-decent app now. The testing's pretty bad. The code's not amazing, but the point is we learned Vuex and we stumbled through it. We made mistakes. We learned from them mistakes, and we know what we're doing now. And this is how you learn. You make things, you break things, you do things wrong. You learn that was the wrong way, and you do them the right way. Thank you for following me on this journey. It's been a good one. I'd hoped to sign off a little bit better than this, but I am currently 20 hours into what is just turned out to be a 48-hour journey to South Africa. So, we make do with what we've got. And on that note, I am stuck in Frankfurt for another 12 hours. So I'm going to go see the city. There is no point in me staying in this airport any longer than I need to. So thank you very much. And I will see you all again sometime.